upon the concept distribution of the temperature over the globe. In that respect, I was discussing about the factors that controls the distribution of temperature and that causes for the variations of the temperature over the Earth's surface. I have told that the temperature is generally related with the amount of insolation that is received by the Earth's surface, and indirectly the air get heat from the ground radiations, or you can say that incoming solar radiation heats to the ground, and later on the ground or the Earth's surface provides heat in the form of long wavelength to the atmosphere. But this amount of temperature or the amount of heat that is received by the air is not uniform over the Earth, and it is varied from equator towards the pole. Near the equator, I have told you that because of the vertical solar radiation, the equatorial part of the Earth received much amount of insolation. That's why it is comparatively warmer than the temperate as well as than the polar region. Because of the oblique solar radiation and slanting rays, the polar areas of the Earth has the less amount of heat. That's why they have the less temperature in compared to the tropical belt of the Earth. The temperature decreases from equator towards the polar region, either towards the North Pole or the South Pole. But the maximum temperature does not correspondence, is not in current correspondence with the maximum amount of insolation. Maximum amount of insolation is received at equatorial part of the Earth, but maximum temperature is recorded at 20° north latitude. And I have told you about the reason that the equatorial belt of the Earth has larger plant and tree density with natural vegetation. The oceanic water surfaces causes for the evaporation and transpiration. The cloud formation is more at the atmosphere of equatorial part. That's why much amount of heat is reflected back by the cloud coverage and by the cloud and the dust particles and other suspended materials at the equator. As well as it is also spent in the formation of the food in the photosynthesis, and as well as the heat is transferred from the plant leaves and the soil as well as from the water surfaces in the form of evaporation, transpiration, and evapotranspiration. This is the reason that the temperature is not more in compared to the 20-30° north latitudes or the south latitudes in compared to the equatorial areas. The 20° north latitudes are dominated by the desert. The western margin of the continent of the subtropical high pressure belt causes for the desert formation. There is the less source region of the water. That's why evaporation is not much possible. The humidity amount or the air moisture or the water vapor is less. The cloud coverage is less. That's why it is not reflected much amount of the heat from the desert areas of the Earth. Yes, Atik. Temperature, the desert is the areas. Desert is a type of natural regions which are located in the mostly the hot desert. Desert are having two types, cold desert and the hot desert. And most of the hot deserts are located in the subtropical high pressure belt areas of the western margin of the continent. Because of the descending of the air from above towards the ground, the atmospheric pressure is high in that region. Deserts are defined as the areas of the driest or the dry areas of the earth where the evaporation, the amount of precipitation is less in compared to the evaporation. The temperature is high in the hot desert. The temperature is more in compared to the other areas of the earth. The natural vegetation are less, and there is the less water sources, and because of the prevailing climatic conditions, they have the sandy soil, as well as their roots are in depth of the soil, and there is the less vegetation concentration, less biodiversity in that region. The climate determines the type of the temperature and others. Yes, Atik. Sorry. uh, Underground water may have the role, but the underground water is below the depth of the soil in the desert region. But wherever the desert का अगर हम define करें, तो जहाँ पे dry conditions है, humidity less है, evaporation जो है वहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है, बारिश कम हो जाती है. evaporation मान लो ज्यादा है, बारिश हो ही नहीं रहा है, कम हो रहा है. और जहां पे आपका टेम्परेचर आपका कोल्ड भी हो सकता है, कोल्डेस्ट टेम्परेचर, जैसे कि आपका डेजर्ट लाइक द कोल्ड डेजर्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड लाइक द मंगोलिया का जो आपका टकला मकान डेजर्ट और द गोबी डेजर्ट, द हॉट डेजर्ट लाइक द सहारा एंड द विक्टोरिया या सिम्पसन डेजर्ट, these are the hot desert. So hot deserts are having the extreme warm conditions, and the cold deserts are having the a very low extreme low temperature. Yeah. Okay, Ruhid, you want to add something?
So, good morning, sir. So I did actually. I texted the message.
Yeah. You can share with the your opinion also. You want to share?
So I shared that in the text message. Please, can you read that?
Yeah, I have gone through that. You have shared that the desert has nothing to do with the type of temperature, but it deals with the extreme temperature that makes a region infertile. Yeah, that is there. Okay.
So I think that's the definition of desert in a practical sense.
No, temperature has the role. If there will be the more temperature, or the extreme low or the extreme high temperature, and that causes for the dryness. If the evaporation will be very less, or the precipitation will be less, very less, the amount of rainfall is very low, that causes dryness, and ultimately that reduce the growing season or enhance the growing season, like the cold desert and the hot deserts of the world. Okay, Atik. A desert is the outcome of the prevailing conditions of climatic conditions. Any natural regions are determined by the natural environmental conditions of that particular areas of the globe. Suppose if we are in the mid latitudes, like the Gobi area, or in the areas of the inner mountainous region, where the coldest conditions are found. Suppose generally the prevailing atmospheric temperature, pressure, amount of rainfall in compared with the amount of precipitation, rate of evaporations. These general weather conditions create a certain type of natural regions, either savanna or equatorial rainforest or the desert region of the world or the desert climate of the world. We will discuss it in the detail. There is the topic of classification of climates that is at the later unit of your sections in the climatology class. I will focus in a detail of the each region and the basis of their classification. Okay, so we were discussing about the factors that controls the distribution of temperature over the earth, and I was focusing that the temperature decreases if we move from equator towards the pole region. That's why we can say that the latitudes control the distribution of temperature more. In the same way, the altitude is another controlling factor of the distribution of temperature. Altitude means the elevation or the height from the sea level. In the previous class, I have told that the temperature decreases with the height at the rate of 1 degree Celsius per 165 meter, or you can say that 6.5 degrees Celsius per 1000 meter. And this is called as normal lapse rate. And this is the reason that the areas of the higher altitude are having the lower temperature in compared to the areas which are near to the sea level. And I have told you about the reason that the atmosphere is generally heated by the ground in compared to ground radiation, that is the outgoing terrestrial radiation, rather than incoming solar radiation from the incoming solar radiation. Another reason for that, I have told you in the previous class that much of the water vapor, air moisture, dust particles, as well as the gaseous materials, and the atmospheric density is more near to the sea level, near to the lower height of the atmosphere in compared to the higher elevation or the higher height or the higher altitude locations. That's why they receive the heat from the outgoing terrestrial radiation, and they increase the level of temperature of the lower atmosphere in compared to the upper strata or the upper atmosphere. Then another controlling factor in yesterday's class, I have told that distance from the, if we are at the coastal areas, then our temperature will be balanced because of the moderating influence of the land and sea breezes that is moving and that is recording in the daily and the night, day and night sea breezes near the coastal environment. And that causes for the balance of the temperature. Yes, Atik. Yeah, this is there. I'm not talking that to pressure because the people may get confused. This happened because of the variation of pressure. Temperature is inversely related to the pressure. Wherever there will be the high temperature, there will be the low pressure. Wherever there will be the low pressure, there will be the high temperature. In the day, the land areas that is heated quickly get the very high temperature, and that causes for the very low temperature, low atmospheric pressure. In the day, when the land heated quickly, there will be the high temperature over the land surface, and there will be low pressure over that area. In the same day, the water and surfaces or the oceanic area is still cooler in compared to the land area because of it heated in a very late in compared to the land surfaces. That's why the water surfaces are still cooler and there is the high pressure, and wind moves from high pressure towards the low pressure area, and that causes for the daily rhythm of land and sea breezes near the coastal environment, and that balances the temperature. Another factor I have told that differential heating and cooling of the land and water surfaces. मैंने ये कहा कि लैंड और वाटर सरफेसेस ये अलग अलग रेट में ठंडा और गर्म होते हैं. जैसे अगर मैं डायग्राम के मदद से अगर देखूं, लैंड एंड सी ब्रीजेस एंड द एरियाज ऑफ द, suppose this is the land area and this is the sea. This is the land area and this one is the sea. In the day, sea breezes maintains the temperature of the land area. In the night, the land breezes causes for the balancing of temperature in the night. Why this daily land and sea breezes flow in the coastal environment? We know that the land is a solid surfaces and the water bodies are the liquid surfaces of the earth surface of the globe. The incoming solar radiation that is coming from the sun towards the earth and that is received by the land and water surfaces are responsible for the causing of the temperature increase or the temperature growing of the temperature or the leveling of the increase of the temperature of land and water surfaces. But the same and the equal amount of the heat has the differential outcome of causing for the temperature increase of the land and water surfaces. We know that the land heated quickly, जल्दी गर्म हो जाता है land surface और बहुत जल्दी ठंडा भी हो जाता है. What is the reason for that? The land areas are solid in nature and they are opaque for the incoming solar radiation. The incoming solar radiation does not penetrate at the very height, the very depth of the land surfaces, and there is the only 3 feet limitations of the penetration of the solar rays in the land areas. It does not get into the very far depth of the land areas. But the oceanic surfaces are the liquid in nature and the incoming solar radiation penetrate in the much of the depth of the oceanic water, and it heats more water rather than the lesser amount of the solid materials of the land surfaces. This is one reason. अगर सिर्फ थोड़े से हिस्से को गर्म करना है, ऊपर के 3 फीट को या पूरे 24 घंटे में 10 सेंटीमीटर से ज्यादा सोलर रेडिएशन पेनिट्रेट कर ही नहीं पाता या हीट का ट्रांसफर ही नहीं हो पाता because of the less convectional process or the less redistribution of the heat in the land surfaces. The redistribution of the heat because of the convectional form of the transference or the transformation of the heat within the oceanic and water surfaces causes for the late heating and the late cooling of the oceanic surfaces or the water surfaces of the earth of the globe. The land surfaces has less amount of the evaporation and much less amount of the evaporation. The evaporation rate is less from the land surfaces because of the less water sources over the land area. Evaporation rate is much over the water surfaces of oceanic area or the water bodies area. And that's why there are the less amount of the heat is received over the land, over the water surfaces in compared to the land areas. The cloud cover is more over the oceanic surfaces rather than the land surfaces. That's why reflectivity by the cloud of the solar radiation are reflected more by the cloud coverage from the oceanic surfaces rather than the land surfaces. Another reason is specific heat. I think that you might have gone through about the concept of specific heat. Specific heat means the amount of temperature, the amount of heat that is required for upgrading 1 degree Celsius of the temperature of any surfaces or any bodies. 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस तापमान बढ़ाने के लिए जितनी हीट की जरूरत होती है, तो उस सरफेस का वह स्पेसिफिक हीट कहता है. We know that the water surfaces or the water bodies requires much amount of the heat to raise the 1 degree Celsius of the temperature in compared to the land surfaces. बहुत कम एनर्जी में ही तापमान जो है चेंज हो जाता है, आपके लैंड सरफेसेस का बढ़ने लगता है. अगर इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ हीट दिया जाए तो स्पेसिफिक हीट वाटर बॉडीज का बहुत ज्यादा है, उसको ज्यादा हीट की जरूरत होती है 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस तापमान को बढ़ाने के लिए. इट रिक्वायर्स मोर हीट टू रेज द 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस ऑफ द टेम्परेचर of their surfaces. But on the other hand, land surfaces requires much lesser amount of the heat to raise the 1 degree Celsius of the temperature of their surfaces. It varies. Land और water का specific heat अलग-अलग होता है, इस वजह से उनका heating और cooling भी अलग-अलग तरीके से होता है. So we can see that the differential heating and cooling of the land and water bodies are one of the important factors that controls the variations of the distribution of temperature of the land and water surfaces. Another reason that controls to the distribution of temperature is nature of the ground surface. We know that on the earth's surface, there are variety of the color of the vegetations, variety of the light and the dark color of the soil, as well as the vegetation, rock, the settlement, human settlement, water surfaces. These diversities in terms of the land forms and their configuration in terms of color, in terms of density, in terms of darkness, in terms of cloud coverage or the land use pattern or the land use configurations. There are the different type of the rate of reflectivity from their ground, and that is called as albedo. So albedo is the concept that denotes about the amount of the incoming solar radiation that is reflected back from their relative surfaces are called as albedo. That may also be called as the reflectivity of that particular surfaces, and that differs from one part of the earth to the another part of the earth. Why they differ? Because of their color, because of their texture, because of their configuration, because of their alignment, because of their locations, because of their darkness or the lightness, because of their different cloud coverage, because of their land use cover or the land use pattern. These type of the reflectivity or the albedo differ from the places from one part to the another part of the earth. Let us see what are the albedo of the different type of the surfaces. सबसे ज्यादा albedo ये अक्सर सवाल ये पूछता है IAS में भी, what is the albedo? और albedo इसमें से किसका ज्यादा है, या आपका परसेंटेज दे दिया, इसमें मैच कीजिए कि किसका कितना परसेंटेज albedo है. तो highest albedo is recorded from the snow cover, fresh snow. Snow cover has the largest reflectivity because of its light color and smooth surface. Snell's law explain about the laws of reflectivity. स्मूथ सरफेस है, लाइट कलर है, ब्राइटनेस जिसका ज्यादा है, तो वहां से एल्बेडो ज्यादा हो. पोलर एरियाज इज कवर्ड बाय द आइस कैप्ड एंड द ग्लेशियर्स, frozen and the permafrost soil, and that causes for the much reflectivity, and the much albedo is recorded from that surfaces. So fresh snow or the snow cover has the reflectivity of 70 to 90%. Then the second round, that is sand, is also an important zone of reflectivity, where 20 to 30% of the solar radiation are reflected back. The albedo of the sand is 20 to 30%. The grasses have the albedo of 14 to 37%. The ground, dry ground, अगर surface आपका सूखा हुआ है, ground अगर सूखा हुआ है, तो dry ground has the albedo of 15 to 25%. अगर surface भीगा हुआ है, wet है, the albedo of the wet ground is 10%. The forest has the albedo of 5 to 10%. Water has the albedo of 3 to 5%. Thick cloud का जो thickness है, इसका भी albedo बहुत ज्यादा है. इससे अगर cumulonimbus cloud हो या cumulus cloud हो, cloud coverage से जो reflectivity होती है, that is about 70 to 90%, and that is much higher. 70 to 80%, sorry, 70 to 80% albedo is recorded of the thick cloud. If the cloud is thin, जैसे आपका alto cumulus हो या cirrus हो, या आपके जो है lower height के जो upper height के जो climate है, जो cloud है, उसकी reflectivity है thin cloud की 25 to 50%. And the soil, black soils की जो आपकी reflectivity है, that is about 8 to 14% of the reflectivity is recorded, and that is called as the albedo of the different surfaces varied in terms of their reflectivity level over the ground. Yes, अगर suppose करो एक सवाल मेरा है कि अगर कहीं पे lightning हो रही है, cloud के बीच में अगर कहीं बादल गरज रहा है, उसमें से lightning अगर हो रही है, अगर बिजली गिरने की हो, तो तुम्हारे पास एक भैंस है और एक गाय है, दोनों शांत स्वभाव की हैं, तो तुम कहाँ किसके नीचे छिपोगे? भैंस के नीचे या गाय के नीचे? भाई गाय के नीचे. क्यों भाई? Yes, the absorption of the solar radiation is more by the dark colored surfaces in compared to the light colored surfaces. यही वजह है कि जाड़े की गर्मी के दिनों में हम जो अम्ब्रेला या छाता जो लगाते हैं, वो लाइट कलर का, व्हाइट कलर का या लाइट कलर का छाता हम ओढ़ते हैं. ओके, अतीक. Yeah, it absorbs as well as it absorbs the larger extent. It penetrates much in the depth of the water, and the water redistribute the heat. अगर water कहीं गर्म हो गया, तो हल्का होके वो अपनी जगह चेंज कर लेता है. वहां पे फिर ठंडा वाटर आ जाता है, फिर वो गर्म होके दूसरी जगह चला जाता है. In the form of oceanic current, oceanic tides, in the form of oceanic waves, they changes their areas. Light, उनका वेट लाइट हो जाता है. जब पानी गर्म हो गया, उनका वेट हल्का हो गया, वो हल्का होके ऊपर आ जाते हैं और दूसरे तरफ से फिर नीचे का जो ठंडा पानी है वो ऊपर आ जाता है. तो इस तरह से ओशनिक सर्कुलेशन भी इज वन ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट आउटकम ऑफ द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ टेम्परेचर. टेम्परेचर का वेरिएशंस ओशनिक सरफेसेस में ओशनिक सर्कुलेशन को लीड करता है. एटमॉस्फेयर में टेम्परेचर का वेरिएशन एटमॉस्फेरिक सर्कुलेशन को जन्म देता है. एटमॉस्फेरिक टेम्परेचर के वेरिएशन से एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर जो है वेरीड होता है, वेरिएशंस होता है, और एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर के वेरिएशन से विंड और दूसरे तरह के एटमॉस्फेरिक सर्कुलेशन है आपके जन्म लेते हैं. तो ये जुड़े हुए हैं, एक कंसेप्ट दूसरे कंसेप्ट से जुड़ा हुआ है. मैंने इससे पहले एक शेर कहा था कि हर एक शय से जुड़ी है हर एक शय यहाँ, एक फूल अगर तोड़ो तारों का दिल हिलेगा. समझे? यस अतीक, यू वांट टू आस्क? In India, generally we consider the sea level of Marina Beach. From Marina Beach, we consider that this is the sea level, and from that side we, yeah, in India, the Coromandel coast, Chennai, Marina Beach, yeah. Okay. Yes. In the trenches, oceanic trenches, or the oceanic deep, or the down, the depth of the oceanic water, we have to make it at the sea level also. That is that it has to be raised at sea level, and at mountainous area we have to reduce it. That's why it will be balanced. Sea level means the upper surfaces of the ocean water. That is, the contour may go into the deep, like the oceanic deep and the oceanic trenches area, or it may have to be at a very higher elevations, like the plateau and the mountainous region. But we have to make the balance at sea level. That has to be reduced. Okay. Okay, in next class we will discuss. I have to take the some extra classes also. That's why we can move smoothly in our fulfilling our syllabus. Otherwise, it will be delayed. Okay. Next factors are also there in terms of the nature of the slope, the slope alignment of the or the aspects of the topography or the slope, that also causes for the variation in temperature of the temperature of that region. Suppose there are the mountainous area and the slope which faces the solar radiation more, the length and the duration of the interfacing of the solar radiation, that slope is more, then the temperature will be more in that area in compared to the leeward slope or the slope which is not in front of the solar radiation. Suppose in the southern part of the mountain Himalaya, that faces more to the solar radiation, has the larger amount of the population density or the population consumption, as well as the natural vegetation is more in compared to the northern slope of the Himalaya. IAS में ये सवाल पूछा था कि which part of the Himalaya faces the more solar radiation? Why there is the larger vegetation cover in the southern slope in compared to the northern slope? That's why the part of the Himalaya that faces to the southern slope has the larger temperature in compared to the northern slope. Northern slope में Tibetan areas or the Ladakh plateau that are more or less desert. The areas of the intermountain desert like the Gobi and the inner Asian desert, cold desert. नॉर्दर्न स्लोप्स में हम देखते हैं कि सदर्न स्लोप्स हम देखते हैं कि सूरज की रोशनी ज्यादा जो है उसको मिलती है. वहां पे लोगों का डेंसिटी भी ज्यादा है. वहां पे ज्यादातर जो है आपके आप जो रिवर ड्रेनेज सिस्टम भी उसमें निकलती है और वहां पे वेजिटेशन का कवर भी ज्यादा है. इसलिए सदर्न फेसिंग रोड्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट इन कंपेयर टू northern facing slope of the Himalaya with relations to solar radiation and rays. Yes, Atik. In the same way, we can also record this condition in alpine mountains. हाँ, northern hemisphere नहीं, northern side of that Himalaya. Himalayas extension is from east to west. Himalayas का अगर southern slope देखें, that located in the India and Nepal and other, उसका northern slope है. Northern slope में Tibetan plateau, आपका trans Himalayan regions और the inner mountains region. Alpine mountains में देखो, जितने जो alpine mountains आपके जो है, the mountains of the Alps mountain, जिसका east west extension ज्यादा है. स्विट्जरलैंड जॉर्जिया वाले एरिया में जाइए, देखिए उसका जो सदर्न स्लोप्स का जो एरिया है, that receives more amount of insolation, more heat in compared to that slope facing to the direct solar radiation much in compared to the northern slopes of that Alps mountain or the Alpine mountain there is. That's why settlement is more at the southern slopes. The vegetation cover is more at the southern slopes in compared to the northern slopes of that alpine mountains of the world. Another factor that controls the temperature distribution is prevailing wind or the atmospheric circulation wind. Suppose if you are living in the Saharan desert and you face very hot conditions, and suppose one wind is coming from the Mediterranean Sea, that is the Harmattan, that is known as the doctor wind in the sub-Saharan Africa, that reaches even to the Guinea coast of the western part of Africa, and that moderate the temperature. If the area which are having the hot temperature may be balanced by the atmospheric circulation or the wind that is coming from the colder areas. Or if you are living in a very cold conditions, suppose one wind is coming from the hotter areas, relatively warmer area, that may cause to the variation of temperature and that may raise to the level of temperature. Chinook wind is one of the important examples that flows in the leeward slope of the mountain Rocky in the United States of America. That causes for the warming of the temperature of the surrounding areas of the leeward slope of the mountain, that raise the temperature about, I think that the 3 to 4 degrees Celsius of the temperature may increase due to Chinook wind that flows in the form of the warm wind in the colder areas during the winter season, and that causes for the melting of the snow. That's why it is called a snow eater. Chinook wind को क्या कहते हैं? Snow eater कहते हैं. Why? Because it causes for the melting of the